and the Bernard Madoff Ponzi scheme, what did Mr. Zuckerman do? He was able to go to Israel and get his money back because a lot of this money was then laundered out of the country into Israel. And, of course, that's not being reported by the American media, naturally, because the American media is controlled by the Israeli Mossad. It has been for years, folks. Now, I'm not anti-Israel. I believe in their right to exist. I don't even believe they should get back the Golan Heights. But they do have to make a eventual solution for the Palestinian problem. But what a element in Israel has done, an element of American Jewry, they have taken. They are criminals. They are sociopaths. They are almost mentally ill. They have enabled the looting of this country and used the American media to cover it up.
The Denver connection, the Millman, the Mizell
connection.
Why
don't you go forward with that a little bit more? Let people know who Larry Mizell is, who Millman is.
Just take a look. Take a look at the Bush crime family flow chart on StuWebb.com. It's right there towards the top above breaking news and so forth. And you look at all the names in there that were created back in 2000. It's got AIG in there. It's got Citicorp. It's got everybody in it. Look at the three legs of Iran-Contra. The MENA connection, or the Arkansas connection, the Ohio connection, and the Denver connection. There's your connections to the crime syndicate, which still operates today.
And it's a tragedy, again, that you got when Daddy Bush allowed the media basically to be consolidated in 1, 2 to 3 networks, or you let a small percentage of people with money take over our networks, you created this problem we have right now with the media, where you do not have reporters, you have gossip columnists. They do not report any of this criminality, and they're still not reporting it because they're compromised.
All they got is a bunch of pretty faces on these networks telling what they are told to say, period.
Right, and you're making $5 million a year, a lot of them, to say nothing, to promote the agenda of the ruling elite, which has looted the United States of America. Now, the solution to this problem at this point is pretty clear. There has to be a removal of these people from American soil. There has to be a revolution. The criminality that has taken place vis-a-vis our economic system, our political system, ladies and gentlemen,
freedoms, spying on us, taking the Constitution, shredding it.
Right, and when people look at this financial thing, these offshore trading platforms, they set up a lot of this criminality with Madoff and with the Federal Reserve, Stephen Friedman, and they did it in Pakistan and India and North Korea. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? North Korea. That's right, North Korea.
The boogeyman, North Korea, right.
The 2 current TV journalists that were employed over there were on to the North Korea money laundering, the counterfeiting, on behalf of Bush and Clinton. I mean, you go back to the 90s, one of the ways they placated this guy was bringing in Swedish hookers. Clinton did that. And, of course, they were able to launder a lot of their trading proceeds through North Korea. And now the Chinese found out that a lot of the steps of the Chinese sovereign funds were laundered through North Korea. And that was exactly the documents and information those girls were getting from a North Korean defector when they were kidnapped. And who tipped them off? Well, it was the U.S. State Department and Hillary Clinton Rodenhurst and Melanie Vernier, her assistant, because they knew that that would put Hillary in prison. In fact, she's got some kind of immunity now, I believe. She's singing like a canary vis-a-vis blaming Bush. Of course, Bush is involved in it, too. So you got the Bushes and Clintons now going at each other. How do you like that, Stu? Well, you did it. You did it. Well, come on.
I say they all need to be arrested. I keep harping on the fact, Tom, that under the Constitution and rule of law, we have the legal right to make citizens arrest against these people. And public officials, past officials, non-public officials for treason and sedition and looting the U.S. Treasury. We have the legal right to arrest them. I'm getting the point. I'm getting serious about it, Tom. I'm going to start forming my revolutionary council to make those arrests if no one else is going to do it.
Well, I don't think we should be. I think we should be very serious about these revolutionary councils. I think folks listening to this program tonight, remember you need to contact your fellow citizens, the people that you live around, and form these councils, because there's going to become a point where they're going to go for martial law because they have no other choice. They've destroyed the country's economy. They've destroyed our national security. They've destroyed our electoral process, going back to the year 2000 fiasco. Well, not a fiasco, now fraud, a coup d'etat. So and even this election, let's face it, this was driven by the news media. The media thinks they're going to elect the president. They're going to tell you who to vote for. They know best. They know best. They're electing the guy that's going to get them paid, the type of money they're being paid through the derivative people. Now you talk about North Korea against Stu. Here's a guy. Here's a money laundry that was going through North Korea. They kidnapped these two girls in the free zone. That's technically Chinese territory. Held them hostage, basically. And again, in the end, Hillary was taken off the whole negotiation, and that's why she went berserk over there. Remember when she said, "I'm the Secretary of State," and he isn't. That was referring to her husband, the former president. And then, given her attempt to sabotage Al Gore and the employees of that network, she finally was forced to say that Bush stole the election and wrecked the country. So you can see where she's singing, can't you, Stu?
Yeah, you can.
Now,
it's very unusual, but she's a witch. She's up to her eyeballs in this, and I don't know what kind of immunity she's getting currently, whether it's transitional immunity or what it'd be. But I still say Hillary Clinton deserves a jail cell. She deserves her day in court for all these murders out of Arkansas, all these people she had assassinated, over 300 people dead, all of her drug money laundering, all the money she spent from the proceeds of those narcotics being hauled in the U.S., weapon sales, her treason and sedition, everything, her blackmail of congressmen and senators in Boulder properties with Melman. She deserves to be nowhere, in my opinion, except in a friggin' jail cell waiting trial for her treason and sedition charges, among others.
But we've got to remember, all this was enabled by the United States media. They have allowed these people, the Bushes and the Clintons, to run rampant over this country since the Iran-Contra thing. And the Iran-Contra thing started with Mena, Arkansas, deal room, the laundering of narcotics and weapons through Arkansas to Honduras, the Chinese involvement.
And we have that document, folks, internal memorandum of the United States government, right up on stewwebb.com. Just scroll down. I believe it's still on the front page where it talks about that secret document. We released that.
Right, and what we had here was Bill Clinton played the role for the CIA and for Daddy Bush to launder this money that was to be used to basically aid the Contras, and they turned it into a whorehouse for Bush and Clinton through various banks in Arkansas. And what we now know is that narcotics were run through Arkansas, weapons were run through Arkansas. We know that a Japanese yen currency program was run through Arkansas. The
Chinese intelligence, Israeli intelligence, everything run through Mossad, that is, run through Arkansas.
Right. And where was the justice for Bush and Clinton? As we've explained to people in the past who listen to these programs, Kenneth Starr was a bagman. He was a registered lobbyist for the Red Chinese. He covered it all up. And instead what he did is he ran around the block and decided, well, I'll get this Beverly Hills, California whore and put her in the White House and create a scandal that we can go after Clinton that will never remove him, but will allow me to defer from the stuff I've got to cover up. I've got a copy, Stu, the entire Kenneth Starr investigation.
Yes, I know.
The man is in prison. He enabled the destruction of this country through the Bush-Clinton crime family syndicate. It is now broke. It is destroyed. Starr should be arrested immediately.
There's another public official, folks, to put on your list for arrest. Former public official. These people must be brought to justice. There's no rule of law. There's no Justice Department. And the Declaration of Independence, 1776, says that we have the right to remove them. We have the right to arrest them and remove them and replace them.
Well, they classify everything as national security. They even classify the theft of the U.S. Treasury as national security. I mean, the Federal Reserve and Alan Greenspan have been given some kind of immunity, a.k.a. he's allowing these proprietary CIA accounts and on behalf of Bush and Clinton to operate offshore, and they just moved the money over there. They called it a, what was the term these are proprietary accounts. It was almost like some kind of gift on the way out of office. The thing is a complete